we have statements from Mojtaba Khamenei, who's finally come out and revealed himself in none other than a text statement. So he's still hiding away. And he has said, basically, keep in mind, guys, he's not verified. So he can't actually type more than a small paragraph. So let's scroll on down to the comments here for him to say that, uh, yes, yes. I, as a matter of principle, held a different view. However, out of the commitment that the esteemed president, Masoud Pezeshkian, as the head of the Supreme National Security Council, gave to me on his own behalf and on behalf of the other members regarding the rights and blah, 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 I granted my permission. Quite interesting. I, the supreme leader, had a different opinion, but because Pezeshkian, the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, who is a complete puppet and has no real power, said so, then I say so. What do you think about that, Armin?
Who predicted exactly this?
It's like, quite strange.
No, who predicted this?
I don't know.
I predicted this happening exactly. Guys, let me know in the chat. Did I not come and say they're fattening up Pezeshkian so that when eventually they need to become flexible to the Americans, the supreme leader will come out and say, hey guys, the president made me do it, and I am a people's person. I did not want to do this, but given that we are a real democracy, right? And the people have voted for Pezeshkian, given that Pezeshkian wanted this, and this is a country that abides by the will of the people, then I had no choice but to give in to what the guys. Did I not tell you that when they are making Pezeshkian a bigger deal than he is, they're getting ready to submit to the Americans? Did I not say this? Did I not say, guys, they're saying, oh, Pezeshkian ordered the internet to be turned on. Who the fuck is Pezeshkian and what authority they is? I told you guys that, yep, they're increasing the blames on Pezeshkian. They're increasing the lies about how influential and how much authority he has. Immediately after I said that, Pezeshkian came out and tried to resign. I was like, he figured out what's happening and he's trying to get out, and they're not going to let him. They didn't let him. And I kept on showing you the meme, I'm in danger. And then yesterday when he came and signed the MOU and he was holding it, I was like, look, he's not happy. He knows what they're doing to him. I told you that Ghalibaf knew that he shouldn't have his signature next to President Trump's signature. And that's why they made Pezeshkian do it. And Pezeshkian knows that he's being sacrificed. The only reason Pezeshkian signed it is because they made him, because nobody else wants the signature next to President Trump's signature. And I knew, like, it's getting closer to what I predicted, which then eventually the Supreme Leader comes and says, guys, it was not me, it was Pezeshkian. We're a democracy. People voted for him. Even though I disagree with this, but I submit to the will of the people. I told you that they're going to compare this to what Imam Ali did 1400 years ago, but I'm not going to go into theology right now, religious mumbo jumbo. But this is obvious. This is so obviously so. I mean, even here's Ali. Here's what's interesting about this, okay? This not only shows that I was correct about what the office of the Supreme Leadership would put out there, I was also wrong about being wrong, because I thought that maybe I made a mistake, because I thought Ghalibaf, like the news came out that it's going to be Ghalibaf meeting with J.D. Vance and doing a signing ceremony. I was like, oh, I didn't think that Ghalibaf would agree to that, given that how devastating that would be for him. And like maybe he doesn't have as much influence as I thought. And he's basically, the Americans are making him sign, knowing how bad this would be to him. But why would they embarrassing this much, given that they want him to be able to make this work internally as well? And then I was like, no, I was wrong about being wrong. I was actually right. Ghalibaf is going to make Pezeshkian sign it instead of himself, which is actually pretty ridiculous, because everybody knows that Pezeshkian was not doing the negotiations with the Americans. He was not involved. This was all Ghalibaf. So Ghalibaf was doing the negotiations. Pezeshkian was not doing the negotiations. The only reason why Pezeshkian was signing the document because he was the least powerful, not because he was the most powerful, but because he was the least powerful, so they could bully him and tell him, "Shut up and sign. You don't have any choice. We're going to make this decision for you." Permitted to resign, and he was not permitted to say no to this. He's hostage. He's feeling bad, and he deserves it because he deserves everything that all the anxiety and stress that he's feeling. He deserves all of it. But this Ali also shows that how much control Ghalibaf has, because Ghalibaf, you could not, nobody, they weren't managed to make Ghalibaf put his signature there. So the fact that Ghalibaf did all the negotiations, but Pezeshkian signed it, and Pezeshkian, like, think about it, anybody within the Islamic Republic, so many pro-regime people will be fooled by this. They were like, "Oh my God, our supreme leader! Look at him. It's not his fault. It's Pezeshkian's fault." And everybody who voted for Pezeshkian, poor supreme leader, he warned us, but the people are going against what's the right thing to do, right? But any pro-regime person that is even a little bit politically active will look at this and they will be like, Pezeshkian? Pezeshkian hasn't been doing the negotiations. Ghalibaf has been doing the negotiations. Ghalibaf has been pushing this. Why is he blaming this on Pezeshkian? So for many regime supporters who are following this, they can tell that the Pezeshkian is a scapegoat. The supreme leader is just is trying to not take responsibility, because even if you wanted to blame somebody, you should be blaming Ghalibaf, not blaming Pezeshkian. But this shows that the level of influence that Ghalibaf has makes the supreme leader not want to blame Ghalibaf, because this shows that the supreme leader is intimidated by the supreme leadership office, is intimidated by Ghalibaf, or else they would actually blame Ghalibaf, who is obviously the one responsible for the negotiations. But instead, they go with Pezeshkian, which will make many pro-regime people realize that this is just an excuse. Anyway, sorry. I told you so. I know what I'm talking about. I saw this coming from a mile away, and I told you this will happen before anybody else even understood what I'm talking about. Absolutely nobody told you that this is going to happen except me, and you now see that I know what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you.
Armin's always right. Armin's
Not
always
always,
right.
not always, but I'm going to be bragging about this for years.
And the regime supporters, exactly what you just said about how some of them will believe it and some of them won't. Well, we're going to take a look in a second at what the regime supporters are actually saying in their Telegram channels. Right before that, though, he rambled on quite a bit more. Okay, and there's one more thing that we're going to show here. He's saying that Pezeshkian also said that if the Americans demand too much, we're not going to submit to them. But, and then he said, but, if the in-person negotiations in the future doesn't mean that we're submitting to them, then we hope that everything goes well. This is right here, Armin. This is Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, directly saying that we would be happy to negotiate and discuss with the Americans. That is what he is saying. That is a long way. We've come a long way. So look,
They
right
killed
here.
your dad. You fucking yeah. Read it again.
If okay, so he's talking about Pezeshkian here, saying if Pezeshkian also said that if the American side seeks to make excessive demands, that Pezeshkian will not submit to them. From this moment on, we, that is you, the proud nation, and this humble servant, will await the realization of the aforementioned conditions. So he's putting everything on Pezeshkian, just like you said. As long as Pezeshkian doesn't submit too much. Then he says, but if it's self-evident that the in-person negotiations in the future means that we're not submitting too much to the enemy's position, we hope that the blessed prayers of our master, may God hasten his noble reappearance, the Mahdi, will bring all kinds of victories and triumphs to honorable Iranian nation. That's him
You know what
indirectly
he's
saying
saying?
that we will negotiate.
Ooh, actually, I'm reading something else now that I think about it. Okay, so look at this. However, it's self-evident that the in-person negotiations in the future will not mean acceptance of the enemy's position. We hope the blessed prayers of our master, may God hasten his noble appearance, will bring all kinds of victorious triumph to honorable Iran. You know what he's saying? You know what he's saying?
What's he saying?
He's actually saying what Ghalibaf just said earlier today. I don't know if you have the video talking about invading Quds. You know what that video I'm talking about. So if you have that, show that,
Liberating
because there's some.
Jerusalem.
If you have that, bring it up, because there's something people are missing in that video. But he's saying that, guys, we will have the last laugh because the Mahdi will fuck up Americans. Even we will fuck the Americans and Israelis up when the Mahdi comes back. At the end of the day, we're gonna win anyways. So he's saying that, in my opinion, he's saying that even if the Americans submit to us and we negotiate with them and we don't fuck them up as you expect, because they killed the supreme leader and we're supposed to revenge as much as we need to be harmed, like, because a lot of pro-regime people are like, guys, what the hell, like, even if the Americans accept our terms, they killed our supreme leader, they killed Qasem Soleimani, and we haven't done anything remotely close to them. So how could we, like, hold back? My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.